We'll get to Sandy Alderson right now, as a matter of fact, since we were just talking about Murphy and everything going on with the Mets. We'll get a little update. Nice of Sandy to come on. Sandy, welcome. How are you?
Hi, Mike. Doing well. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate a couple of minutes. We've had a lot of discussion this week. First, Sandy, I want to give you, because you infuriated Met fans with you, and I tried to say it was just meant in jest. I don't think it was anything to annoy them, but the $5 bill thing seemed to really get under their skin.
Well, I've made attempts at humor in the past that have gotten under a few people's skin, so I try not to do it too often. But I think it is important sometimes to at least reflect on, the relative importance of all of this, and so trying to put it in some perspective, and I know it becomes a sensitive issue with Mets fans, has been for a few years. I myself am sensitive to that. So, in any event, my humor comes and goes. It's gone for a while. It won't be back anytime soon.
Hey, you know what? I understand it. And again, I think you do know the sensitivity. This is WFAN in New York as we pass 2 o'clock with Sandy Alderson, AM and FM 1019 and 660 AM. Sandy, tell us, where are we in the process? What would you say after kicking the tires and chatting up a lot of people? Where are we in this free agent process?
Well, I think it's fairly obvious, and not just from our lack of activity, but the general lack of activity, that we're early in the off season. A lot of things don't happen until well after the winter meetings.
Yep.
We didn't trade R.A. Dickey last year until after the winter meetings. So we didn't sign Marlon Byrd until well after the winter meetings, as I recall. So, lots of stuff can happen, often happens much later in the off season. I understand people are anxious to see what we're going to do, and I'm anxious to see how everything develops. We've got some holes to fill. There's no question about that. But the nice thing about that is that it gives us a lot of different combinations. And while there's some obvious weaknesses, there are also some areas where we have relative strengths that, we might be able to further strengthen. So right now, it's not a matter of not having a strategy. We understand what our priorities are, but also you have to be able to take advantage of opportunities. And so right now, we're trying to determine, what realistically is available in those areas where we feel we need to prioritize, but also, what else is out there that might be able to help us in a more creative way. So we use the general managers meeting to talk with clubs, to talk with agents. We've done a lot of that. We'll do more of it as we get into next week and the week after, and I think things will start to happen. I think they'll start to happen across all the clubs. They'll start to happen with us.
Would you say now, though, that anything's changed from, let me go back and backtrack, because I think the Met fan needs to go through this and hear this, because I think everything that they may have thought has been wiped away by people taking shots at the Mets, Boris taking shots at the Mets, all the different things. The Harvey thing has not changed your direction or your approach at all, right?
Well, I mean, moderately.
I mean, look, it's not like you're not trying to build because Harvey.
No.
The point is, it's changed who you can trade, or get rid of, but it hasn't changed your approach towards the 2014 season as far as improvement goes.
No.
Okay.
We're still committed to improving. If you go back over the last 3 years, I've said this more than once. We wanted to accumulate talent. We wanted to create some more payroll flexibility, and we wanted to do as well as we could along the way without compromising the first two goals. Now, we're reordering those goals, Harvey or no Harvey.
Right.
So, no, it hasn't changed anything. The mindset of the average Mets fan, I'm sure, is very different today than it was on August 26th before it was announced that Harvey's elbow was blown out. And psychologically, I know that's had an impact on Mets fans because, hey, it had an impact on me.
No question, it did everybody. No question.
But it doesn't alter our fundamental approach for this season. And will we need maybe some more pitching? Yeah, we're going to need some more pitching to fill in there, and we'd be nice to get some quality pitching, but to fill in that hole. But the bottom line is that we're about improving the team, improving the one-loss record, and we've achieved the payroll flexibility, and I think we have improved our overall stable of talent. And as I said, now it's we've got other priorities now. And,
do you find that there was more interest in certain players than you thought there was, or was it about what you gauged?
Yeah, no, I don't think we were surprised at what we found. I do believe that as it becomes clearer that power, which everybody's looking for,
yep,
is either very expensive or very scarce, that it should mean, doesn't mean it will mean, but it should mean that somebody like Ike or Duda would become more attractive as other options disappear or realistically, are not attainable. But I don't think that we found out anything unique while we were there with respect to possible trade partners. And in fact, even with what we know from the meetings, I expect there will be further conversations with other teams.